Freedom. It's a word we all crave, a promise we all chase. But what if everything you've been told about freedom is a lie? You've been taught that freedom is in wealth, in fame, in the approval of others, that it's in the validation from the world around you. But I'm here to tell you the harsh truth. True freedom doesn't come from external sources. It never has. For most of us, freedom is an illusion. We live our lives trying to fit into someone else's vision of success, shackled by expectations, opinions, and the fear of rejection. You may think you're free, but deep down, you know something's missing. You feel trapped by society, by people, by your own fears. You've been waiting for a moment, for someone to give you the permission to be free. But here's the reality. No one is coming to set you free. The real question is, can you set yourself free? I'm Louis Fock. What if I told you that true freedom lies in one simple thing? Self-reliance. When you stop looking outside of yourself for validation, when you stop waiting for someone to rescue you, when you finally realize that the power to shape your destiny has always been in your hands. This is the kind of freedom that no one can take away. So let me ask you, are you ready to stop waiting for someone else to set you free? Because the only way out is through, and it starts with you. The world doesn't owe you freedom. In fact, the more you wait for someone to hand it to you, the more you'll find yourself shackled by their expectations. That's the harsh truth many people refuse to acknowledge. You've been told that success means recognition, that happiness means having others by your side, that freedom comes from the comforts of life or the approval of those around you. But all of this is an illusion, and it's keeping you trapped in a cycle you can't escape. What's worse, society has programmed us to believe that external validation is the key to fulfillment. You need to look a certain way, talk a certain way, have a certain amount of money in the bank. These are the chains that bind us, chains made of expectations, materialism, and a desire to conform. We constantly strive for something outside of ourselves, thinking that if we just achieve enough, someone will finally give us the freedom we crave. But in reality, what they're giving us is just another form of slavery. Slavery to their standards, their ideals, their version of success. Let me tell you something. Real freedom starts when you stop relying on the world for your worth. It starts when you understand that no one can give you the power to shape your life. It's a bitter truth, but it's the truth. Freedom isn't found in the number of followers you have, or the approval of your boss. It's not in the accolades or the titles. Those things come and go. People come and go. But what remains, what will always remain, is your ability to stand on your own 2 feet. Self-reliance means taking full ownership of your life, your actions, your choices, your future. It means realizing that no matter how many times the world knocks you down, you don't need anyone to pull you back up. You are enough, and you have the power to rise again on your own terms. But the path to self-reliance is dark. It's not easy. It requires facing some uncomfortable truths about yourself. It means confronting your fears, your insecurities, and your doubts head-on. And it's painful. It's a journey filled with sacrifice, where you might lose friends, relationships, and even your sense of comfort. It's a lonely path, one that requires immense strength, mental toughness, and resilience. But here's the thing about true strength. It's forged in adversity. When you embrace self-reliance, you stop seeking external validation because you understand that you are the one who defines your worth. You become your own source of validation. That's when the power shifts. It's not in the hands of others anymore. It's in your hands. And when you have that power, when you stop relying on anyone or anything else to define who you are, that's when you truly begin to experience freedom. I know it sounds harsh. I know it sounds like an impossible task. But trust me, I've walked that road. I've seen the darkness of dependency, of waiting for someone else to come and fix everything. And I can tell you, nothing changes until you decide to take control. The world doesn't care about your struggles. It will give you opportunities, but it won't hold your hand. You have to stand tall, face the storm, and say, I will not be defeated by my circumstances. I will build my own path. This is where true freedom lies. It's in the power to decide. It's in knowing that the chains around you were never real to begin with. They were all in your mind. Once you realize this, you begin to shed those chains. The fear of failure, gone. Because you understand that no one can take your freedom unless you allow it. Self-reliance doesn't mean being isolated or shutting everyone out. It means taking responsibility for your own life while still being open to growth and collaboration. It means setting your own standards and building your own version of success, one that doesn't require anyone's approval. It means being confident enough to stand alone in the face of adversity, knowing that the power to change your circumstances is in your hands. And here's the thing. When you start living from this place of self-reliance, you attract a different kind of freedom. You begin to attract the people who are on the same path as you. You draw in those who understand the value of self-sufficiency and strength. They won't come because you need them. They'll come because they respect you for standing tall on your own. And that, my friend, is the type of freedom that is unshakable. So I ask you, what are you waiting for? Stop looking to the world for permission. Stop waiting for someone to give you what's rightfully yours. The freedom to live life on your terms starts with self-reliance. It starts with you. They're the reasons for your surroundings' experiences. So, what does it really mean to rely on yourself? It's more than just pulling yourself together when things get tough. It's about embracing the responsibility for your own life, no matter what happens. No one can walk your path for you, and the sooner you realize that, the sooner you'll be able to break free from the chains that bind you. Self-reliance means you're not waiting for the universe to give you signs or opportunities. You're taking what's yours, whether it's a seat at the table or the courage to build your own. It's about understanding that you have what it takes to create your own reality, no matter how difficult it seems. And the reality is this: there will be times when you'll feel overwhelmed, when you'll feel like you've hit rock bottom, but those are the moments when you must dig deeper, trust in your own abilities, and keep moving forward. The more you face these struggles alone, the stronger you become. You learn to depend on yourself for emotional strength, motivation, and resilience. And that's where your true power lies. Many of you might be thinking, but what about support? What about the people who care about me? Yes, support is important, but it cannot be your crutch. You can't rely on others to carry your weight, solve your problems, or validate your existence. They can't do that for you. No one can. And that's where the true freedom of self-reliance comes in. It's liberating. The moment you stop needing external validation, you open yourself to a different kind of strength. The kind that isn't dependent on anyone or anything. You are no longer at the mercy of the world around you. Your life, your happiness, your freedom is in your hands. This is not to say you'll never need help. Life can be unpredictable, and everyone faces challenges that require support from others. But when you rely on others to define who you are or to solve your problems, you give them control over your life. True self-reliance means knowing when to ask for help, but always standing firm in the knowledge that you are the ultimate architect of your life. And let me be clear, this doesn't mean a life without struggle. Far from it. Self-reliance is forged in the fires of adversity. There will be moments when you'll be knocked down, when it seems like the weight of the world is crushing you. But those are the moments where the seeds of self-reliance are planted. You learn more from your defeats than your victories. And if you're willing to keep pushing forward, to rise again when you're broken, you will experience a freedom that cannot be taken away from you. When you rely on yourself, you stop waiting for the world to change to fit your needs. You stop letting fear control your decisions. You stop making excuses. You take full ownership of your life and your future. The beauty of self-reliance is that it gives you the freedom to be the person you're meant to be, without fear of judgment, without the need to please anyone else. You define your success. You define your happiness. And that is the truest form of freedom you will ever experience. It really comes down to deciding how you want to live your life. So now, the question is, are you ready to take that first step? Are you ready to stop waiting for someone else to set you free? It's time to stand up, take charge, and walk your own path. The world might tell you it's impossible, but remember, nothing worth having ever comes easy. Freedom is earned, and the only way to earn it is to rely on yourself. In the end, true freedom isn't something you wait for. It's something you create, and it all begins with self-reliance. The world will tell you that you need validation, recognition, or external factors to be truly free, but that's a lie. The harsh reality is that no one will hand you freedom. No one will solve your problems, and no one can give you the power to change your life. Only you can do that. So I challenge you to stop waiting. Stop seeking permission from others. Stop waiting for someone to tell you that you're good enough. It's time to take full ownership of your life. Embrace the pain, the struggle, the uncertainty, and understand that these are the moments that will forge you into the person you are meant to be. The path is not easy, but it's yours to walk. When you start relying on yourself, when you take the responsibility to define your worth and your future, you will find that freedom is already within you. It's never been about external circumstances. It's always been about your mindset, your ability to face adversity, and your refusal to depend on anyone else. Now, it's your turn. Don't wait for life to happen to you. Make life happen for you. Take control of your journey and walk it with confidence. Own your choices, own your actions, and own your future. The power is in your hands, and with that power comes an undeniable freedom that cannot be taken away. So let today be the day you stop waiting and start living on your own terms. Step into your self-reliance and reclaim your freedom. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.